Hello, everybody.
Have to remember to push all of the buttons.
All of the buttons, yes.
Hello.
Hello. So, welcome to the Crusaders weekly live stream. Here from the Codename office in beautiful Victoria, BC, Canada. I'm Erica, the community manager for Codename and the live service manager for Crusaders. And this is Kat, the artist of Crusaders.
Hello. With this hand, because you can't see this hand.
So, yeah, we're here to take your Crusader questions, and you get to watch Kat draw if you're here because you like art. It's pretty awesome to watch her draw. Looks like we have JS Random Numbers, one of our regulars. And I think, have we seen Grungy in 1989 before?
Maybe. Uncertain.
We've definitely seen D-Tape before.
Yeah. I saw somebody else a second ago, but scrolled off. But hello to everyone.
Hello
and welcome.
to everybody, yes.
So, today I am going to be sketching the next Crusader, the Valentine's Crusader. Their design is basically finished, so this is a teaser. And, of course, we are here for questions, Crusaders, or art, or whatever.
Yeah, so you can get started on the sketch.
I shall.
Welcome, Hardball UK. Thanks for joining us. So, obviously you guys have seen our stream code for today, which is Tier 5 objectives, without the I and the E in it. So, yes, those are releasing today, maybe during the stream, maybe shortly afterwards. It'll be for World's Wake and Descent into Darkness campaigns, so that's some more objectives for you to do. And as a bonus, they do include the Tier 4 11th objectives for those campaigns as well. So yeah, that's a thing. The Tier 4 11th on World's Wake will require you having completed all the prior Tier 3 11th objectives for all 9 campaigns. So you might want to get on that if you haven't done it yet. And that's a fun one. It increases the maximum number cap another 100. So you can get to 1E700 as your DPS if you haven't bought any Arithmagician yet. Otherwise, if you've somehow managed to max Arithmagician, then you'll be at E900 for your DPS, which is pretty cool. And then the Descent into Darkness Tier 4 11th objective reward is bonus boss idol drops on challenge objectives. Just to make challenges more fun. Looks like we got a question for Kat from D-Tape.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you use blue for your initial sketch?
I wondered if someone was going to ask that. It's kind of a long story, but I'm happy to answer. So it sort of started in high school, I guess. I really wanted to do animation stuff. So I ended up getting some pencil lead in coal erase, I think it's called. There's blue and there's red and there's also like green. And basically it's what like old school animators used to use, because you could scan, like you could ink over top of it and then scan in and then just do a color correction to get rid of the blue and have your nice clean inks. And so I just, in high school I wanted to, be like the cool animators. So I started using it, and it's actually super useful. And then as I got my first tablet in high school, so as I started sort of graduating to digital art, I sketched in black, and then it made it really hard to ink stuff over top. So then I started using gray, but it wasn't all that much helpful. So at some point I started with red first, because the red pencil lead I found worked the best. And then it just sort of became habit, and at some point I switched to blue because easier on the eyes. And yeah, it basically, like, so I can have it finished and then switch to inking blacks, and then follow the lines more easily. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but
no, it totally makes sense.
That's the basic
perspective.
Yeah, that's the basic reason. And I guess since I don't ink stuff on stream, it might seem a little weird, but it's just habit at this point. Same with like having this little option up here. What's it called? Like flow control? Pressure for opacity. Fine. That's another thing that's a habit that helps. It helps mimic sketching with a pencil, because you have your lighter lines and then you have your darker lines. If this was off, it would just be like this all the time, which is not bad, but again, it's just another like little...
I want more detail here, less detail here.
Yeah, it's another little personal preference that I picked up and have continued to run with. Yeah, so that's the long-winded explanation, and I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, D-Tape says it totally makes sense. Thank you for explaining.
You're welcome.
And looks like Melanie has said they have no artistic ability, so it's really helpful to learn how artists do their thing.
Yeah. I mean, artistic ability is
It's practice.
It's honestly just, hours of practice. Like, I've been drawing since I was not quite negative years old, but
Yeah.
as soon as I could hold a pencil. And I just had a very supportive family that like, yeah, art, do that. So I just have the years. And it's weird to think about that sometimes, because it's like, no, I was a crummy little, anime drawer in high school. Mm-hmm. I have my shameful moments.
So Hardball UK is asking any news on the artwork for Xiaolong for the tattoo. Adam did come back to us on that. He said just give out the high-res version, and then you can take it to your tattoo artist, and then they usually tend to convert it into however they're gonna do the tattoo. So I guess you can get Margaret the high-res version to share on Twitter, or is that too big for Twitter?
If you really want high res, Twitter wouldn't be the way.
So you should email.
Yeah, I think the person who wants this tattoo should maybe email or send in a ticket, or however best you think it is, and then I can provide somebody with the high res thing to then provide to them.
Yeah, so if you want the high-res art, email crusaders@codenameentertainment.com, and we'll share that file for you. JS random numbers. Sweet, can't wait to unlock that. I'm guessing that's about the Tier 4 11th objective bonuses. Yes. It's been sitting there a while, and they're really happy about the bonus boss battles on challenges. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Dodal Max is here. Hi, Dodalus.
Hello.
And he says E900 actually gives crazy idle resets. Yes, it does, which is why it's only a E100 increase on this 11th instead of a E200. Rainbow Julian, are we allowed to tell the players what slot Alacrity will be in? I know I gave them a slot, but I can't remember right now. So, I would tease it if I remembered what it was. Melanie says they're over 60, so they're not likely to start drawing, so understandable.
That's fair, but I know, like, watercolors is a popular thing to take up in like retirement age, because then you have the free time to just like get good as it is. And actually there was a very interesting thread, I forget what site it was, but it was one of the more sort of professional focused art sites, of a guy at least middle-aged, but I forget how old exactly, but he had basically never drawn in his life and he wanted to start, so he started with all of the advice that people actually give, of starting with the actual basics like circles and then learning how to shade for spheres and things like that, and then built his way up to photorealistic portraits in a shocking amount of time. So Because, when you're a kid, you're drawing for fun. You're going to make a lot of mistakes that then you have to learn from, or learn bad habits that then you have to unlearn. Which the benefit of starting later is you have the actual, like, intelligence and self-awareness to learn differently, go about things differently. So, I don't know. Never say never, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Neo Linkster commented that he can only draw what they see in front of themselves, and their mind's eye and OCD had them fail art in high school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there are people who do, like, photorealistic oil paintings and stuff. That's a whole niche. There's so many types of art.
Mm-hmm. Splenda Yum Yum says, "Greeting, Earthlings."
Greeting.
Greeting. Fire Pills asks, how difficult will the Neo objectives be? The Tier 4 11th on World's Wake will be a struggle if you don't have a few levels in Earth Magician. Otherwise, I'm sure most of the veterans can do it, even though Hermit is the only one doing your DPS on that objective. Otherwise, the Tier 5 objectives kind of follow in the difficulty scaling of the Tier 5 events. They're compacted, so the difficulty increases faster, so you're not going as deep. But I don't think they'll be too tricky. Although you do have the game changes. So, we'll see. I think they'll be fairly easy to tackle, especially with Morrigan, because most of those objectives have escorts, which she'll probably ignore their effects with. Question from Kedgear about future events. They quite enjoy building formations for event free plays, but at their current idle income level, the gain from doing an event free play is much lower. Any plans on rebalancing that idle income on the events? Yes, we would like to make the event free plays more appealing. Depending on if we have time or not, we might make those changes with the Valentine's event next Thursday. If not, we'll look into them for changing with Hermit's premature party. Splenda Yum Yum. I wish I had the hand-eye coordination for drawing. I have a big old Cintiq 22 HD I use for Lightroom and Premiere mostly. Because they like the buttons all over it. Good for selecting things.
Yeah.
But man, I suck at drawing. You rock, cat.
Thanks. The hand-eye coordination to use Cintiqs or this type of tablet where I'm looking at the screen but I'm drawing on a flat surface below me, again, it's just a matter of practice. When I got my first tablet in high school, it was real hard. I ended up practicing by drawing normally in my sketchbook, scanning it in, and then inking stuff to get that, just the muscle memory, basically.
JS Random Numbers is saying, oh man, I forgot about Get Me Out of Here. Well, that is also one of the things that's happening today. We've changed Get Me Out of Here finally.
Surprise!
Surprise! It's no longer timed. Otherwise, Tier 5 would be like completing Area 150 in 40 minutes? And that's kind of impossible. Yeah. So it's changed to a normal objective-ish. Got the escort dealy bops in it. Difficulty scaling, yeah. Right, it's DPS does no damage. That's what the gimmick is with Get Me Out of Here now. So you need a projectile Crusader or click damage to clear it. Which is why we've also changed up the washed up Hermit's kit. He now has a projectile attack because the base 20 Crusaders did not have any projectiles. And that would make Tier 1 Get Me Out of Here pretty hard if you didn't have any event Crusaders yet. and you'd have to rely on taskmasters probably to carry you through, maybe. Yeah, so we gave the washed up hermit a projectile because he had the handy dandy arrow attack upgrade already. So now he shoots an arrow. And we also changed his craziness buff. Well, I enjoyed trying to figure out how to use him, getting all the buffs, leaving an empty formation circle or two. Not the most optimal for pushing.
Yeah, I remember that being fun to figure out way back in the beginning.
Yeah.
With the very limited Crusaders, but as we've gotten more and more options, I can see that definitely easily falling by the wayside.
So now Craziness will trigger when he's adjacent to 2 or less Crusaders, so he'll be a little easier to place. And I know arrow attack previously boosted swordplay on the Bushwhacker. Don't worry, Hermit still boosts swordplay. We took away one of his self DPS upgrades, buffed the other 3 remaining, and kept swordplay on him. So yeah, that's 2 fun changes also coming out with today's objectives. So Tesda 13. Grandma Moses started painting at 78. It's definitely never too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Rainbow Julian asks, does Kat take commissions outside of Crusaders?
Unfortunately, I don't. I get that question every once in a while, but my free time is for my own art. I have stories I want to tell, and more recently, all my free time was taken up with prepping for DMing my D&D group on the weekends. But we've swapped DMs because all of us kind of like DMing, so we sort of take it in turns. So currently, I am trying to focus on my own art, doing some comics maybe. That'd be cool. Yeah. So sorry, I really don't.
Total Max is saying with the new Tier 4 11th objectives, it'll probably max out the talents if people haven't already. And they're asking about new talents coming. Yes, we are planning new talents to hit. Warwick 93 just joined. Welcome, Warwick.
Welcome.
Did they say anything about when we get the Tier 4 11ths? Yes, we said either during a stream or shortly after, which is like, cool. Today. Definitely today.
Yep.
Even though Margaret's doing her best.
Oh, yeah.
I think I need to steal the mouse.
No worries.
Hap 1 Sleep. Skins are hard to get and not very useful when you get them. Any plans to make them better? I think the tag swaps are pretty useful for some of them.
Unless they're talking about just the base 20 ones.
Oh, maybe the base 20 ones.
Because I would assume
Those
they're the
are hard,
hardest
yeah,
to get
they're
because
chest
it's
drops.
RNG.
We don't really have any plans to do anything with the base 20 skins. We just wanted to revamp the look of the base 20 Crusaders, make them all cohesive.
Yeah, basically.
Jorky 6. You can you tease whether the new Crusader will be support or speed? They'll most likely be support of some kind. I don't think we need to add another speed Crusader.
Yeah.
As a demon, anyway. If we're going to add another speed Crusader, maybe it'll be a robot.
Yeah, I think some of their kit abilities-wise is still being figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dildo Max is saying they like the uniqueness of the old Get Me Out of Here. I know, it was a unique objective. I liked it too, but it does turn into a test of your computer and your patience for figuring out how to beat it, and then it locks everything. So if we're gonna keep going with tier objectives higher than 4, we need to change Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah, maybe we can still have a time-based objective somewhere, but that doesn't require, finishing to unlock things.
Maybe.
I don't know where we could put that, but just an idea.
Yeah. Splenda Yum Yum says activate party sequence 22. I'm guessing that was in reference to the news about changing Get Me Out of Here. Neo Linkster, can the in-game scroll be locked to 3 lines? I only ask because I had to raise mine for web pages, but in-game it's unwieldy when it's set higher. I don't understand what that question's about at all. Is that like referring to chat or something? So if you could clarify, Neo Linkster, that would be great. Rainbow Julian says, we should totally give Frosty a projectile attack spreading ability like Gem Cell has for Frosty's snowball fight upgrade. I mean, we might look at Frosty again. I think we do have a lot of projectile Crusaders. I was hesitant to do the one on Hermit, but it totally makes sense because the base 20 didn't have any. But I think we might lay off on projectile Crusaders for a bit. Skig is here. Welcome, Skig.
Hey, Skig.
Question about, are there any set cooldown times for idle missions? Is there a pity timer for Temple of Dumb? None of the missions have pity timers. And then the idle mission slot itself has a cooldown timer along with all the internal timers on the missions, and then it's just RNG. But considering how generous those idle missions are when you're up there in idles, I think having a wonky cooldown is okay. Blasphemer 2016. That's a pretty cool way to spell blasphemer. I'm surprised by how close to an event that you'll ask for input in which Crusaders get a new skin. This leads me to wonder how quickly new characters come together from first concept to finished Crusader. Oh, well, you had Alacrity planned last year, right? We just wanted the skin idea.
Yeah, so a skin doesn't take very long, and because we're not adding abilities, we're just adding a tag swap, that takes consideration, but it doesn't take a lot of tech time. And as far as the actual drawing goes, a brand new Crusader or skin, because the skins are basically just complete redraws at this point, takes like a little over a day, usually, to like draw and then animate. So it's fairly fast for me.
Plus, you got stolen for champions, so you're
little. Usually
just on schedule with the event art this time.
Usually I would definitely like to be more ahead, and I was in the past, but I was helping out with champions for a while.
Cassius is saying, tell me Hermit didn't hit himself with an arrow to the knee. I mean, you never know with him. He is washed up and crazy, so it's possible he hit himself with an arrow and that he's pulling it out and throwing it at the enemies. I think Pastuso thinks what you're sketching is a skin for Morrigan, because we don't have a skin for Morrigan yet. Unless they just mean the normal Morrigan art. But it says, way to go, cat.
Oh, well, thank you.
Whatever is referring to. And then Cassius follows it up with, does anyone actually use swordplay? I mean, if you're using the Bushwhacker, bonuses for swordplay buffs, probably good. Depends on if you're on an objective that lets you have all the other clicker Crusaders or not. Dolamax is saying it's nice to see old Crusaders seeing some rework. Yeah, it is nice to go back. Skig has a couple questions. Will there be tier 5 11ths? At some point, now that there's tier 5 objectives, but not in this update, just the tier 4 11ths today. And then, will we need to buy a tier 4 version of the Doing It Again talent? Well, yes, you need to buy the talent to access tier 4 objectives or higher, but we won't, that's the or higher bit. We won't be adding talents to do tier 5, tier 6, tier 10 objectives. It's covered all by the tier 4 objective talent. So that's cool. Scrooge McScourge. My team is on a mission to hire Zoraban. How good is he? He's handy. He's another speed crusader, angel demon, so on
that's
things that restrict to angel demons, he'll be helpful.
That's a unique tag combination, right? Nobody else has that.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Darker 18, EA more chests, hype. Yeah, with the rubies, you can definitely buy more jewel chests if you want to. And of course, you're going to get all your new guaranteed chests for going to the E900 new max area. So, Skig has a suggestion as well. Maybe you can make a time-based run for tokens similar to the weekly challenges. And a delayed hi to Erica and Kat.
Hello.
Yeah, maybe we can do something similar to challenges with a time-based run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's added pressure, right? It's like you only have 2 days to choose when to sit down and do this hour-and-a-half objective.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can think about how that would make sense. Melanie had a guess that what Neo Linkster was talking about, scrolling through the Crusaders. And then Neo Linkster did follow up. Thank you. Scrolling for missions or Crusaders, it jumps whole pages. A single scroll will make me move from the initial 6 Crusaders to 12 to 18. I guess we can take a look at what the mouse wheel does on those dialogues. I usually tend to just use the shift key and when I click an arrow, because then it just moves like the bench or the 8 Crusaders at the bottom. But yeah, we can take a look at the scrolling sensitivity. Birdman CSU. Rumor on the street is there will soon be a new Crusader that is a huge midget. When will he be coming out? That is a weird rumor. Because I don't even think... No, it's only Alacrity in the game files that they could data mine, and there was no art until next week, so... I don't think we have any huge midgets planned, so...
And even if we did, it would be a
dwarf.
A huge dwarf. Yeah, let's not...
I guess maybe the skin of 2 dwarfs in a trench coat for Carmen Petunia, but that's females. So.
Yeah, and that's not huge.
No, that's not huge.
I think that's just somebody trying to get the thing that they want.
Yeah.
Pretending it's a rumor.
Yeah.
Let's not use the M word there also. It's not nice.
Ordinary Samuel, hello. CNE girls, hope you do well.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
Yeah, doing fairly well. Skig was shocked at tier 10 objectives. Well, we technically have the 10. Adam was industrious when we were doing the tiers. You know, those little numbers
that
go over the objective icons. So they technically go up to 10 already with no extra art.
Yeah,
so.
that is really nice, honestly. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm doing the new chests for events, I'm like, I could just do these up to like 7, but I'm not that optimistic. Which is just me. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Fire, please. Are we happy with Morgan as she is right now? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with her. She'll definitely be useful on all these new objectives that have escorts that disable DPS. So, oh, Darker 18 was saying more chests from the code we gave out. You're quite welcome for the test code this week. And Twitch Pal Player also said thank you for the chests. You're welcome as well. And T Bobby says thank you for your hard work, ladies.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you for playing Crusaders.
Yeah. Also, Kevin works hard.
Yes, Kevin does.
Does not identify as a lady.
No. Kevin does awesome.
Yeah.
He puts up with my crazy harebrained schemes.
Yeah. We're a well-oiled little team.
Yes. Leftimus is also saying thank you for the chest because they got a skin out of them. Oh my gosh, that is very cool.
Congrats.
Congrats. Oh, I didn't write down the weekend promo for today. It's something. I don't think it was Valentine's related yet, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you'd rather forget about them.
Yeah.
But it will launch at noon today. Weekend promo, yay. Scrooge McScourge says, question, why does Chef Casey not have a gold find tag? She has golden potatoes. Because that part of her stew isn't always active. Most of the gold Crusaders, either the equipment is always active or the upgrade is always active, but because she swaps between all the ingredients in her stew, you don't always have her gold up. So that's why she doesn't have a gold find tag.
There was one other Crusader that had like a very minor gold thing that people asked about, and we had a similar sort of reason.
Yeah, Rex, and Rex also has his gold find thing. But no, I think he has a gold tag because it's his base thing. Yeah. Depends on if it's more fluid or not. For sure. Mrs. Long says they're stuck on From the Ashes on area 1255. Any tips for progressing?
We just had someone saying From the Ashes would be easier for newbies.
Yeah, I guess it depends on which Crusaders they have, like Morrigan. Most of the time my advice is getting Phoenix's legendaries as high as you can get them, because Fire Phoenix survives, and then you need Mindy and Mildred, and then you have them in the back 2 slots that don't get affected. And then they can still keep buffing Fire Phoenix as they're sitting beside the Snake and the Sorcerer. And then you definitely need a level cap, like at least 9,300, if not higher, closer to 10,000 levels. But again, depends on legendaries, Crusaders. It's lingering buffs talent purchased or not. Complete as many missions as you can if you have the mission adrenaline talent for that extra buff. I guess you could go back and do a Bruno push, like go back, sit in area 1 with Bruno out and push all the abilities for a couple days. Maybe that'll help you get through. Kedgira is asking, will we ever see Kevin in one of these live streams? Well, we only have 2 mics, so it would, if he's ever going to join us, it would be on a day when maybe Kat is sick and can't draw, and then we can see if Kevin is up for being on stream, I guess. There's that too. He might not be comfortable being on stream. Yeah.
And I'm not sure my and Kevin's combined dark humor and sarcasm would go super well on stream. So I think you have to be there to mediate and balance things out.
Probably, yeah. But like, I will try and get Kevin to host a Q&A. Probably not next week because he's got to get Valentine's out. But within the next month, I'll try and get Kevin to host a Reddit Q&A. Kedgear is saying, sounds great. What could go wrong about the dark sarcasm?
Yeah.
Fazilina, thanks so much for Morrigan. I finally finished Through the Ashes with her. See? Apparently From the Ashes is too easy now with Morrigan. Melanie says, I was able to successfully migrate my Crusaders from Armor to Steam. Thank you for your advice last time. Oh, that's awesome. Glad it was easy. Joshua Riley 666. Hey, quick question. I missed out on Chalong the Guardian. Will he come up on a mission eventually? Yeah, his recruit mission will be added to the game. If not with Valentine's, then with the St. Patrick's event. Cassius335 is asking, would you ever give out skins directly through codes? Well,
could be possible for like something special.
Yeah, contest anniversary or something. Anniversary. Yeah, anniversary skin this year. Maybe.
Mayhaps.
I mean, I can't make a code. I would have to bug Kevin to change the reward because my admin panel only lets me give out chests.
But theoretically
possible. Yes. Okay. No, it's totally possible to give out the skin with a code. Skig, question, can you make Casey sometimes be a gold finder, a crusader with constantly changing tags? Well, isn't that what happens with Evanescent propagating to your entire formation? Or do you want to send Casey on more missions, Skig, that she needs a gold finder tag for? Yeah, Dave the Aztec is saying a raffle reward for the skin code.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, like, I don't know, we don't want to make it super exclusive because...
Oh, yeah. This one lucky raffle winner.
Yeah.
Won this skin.
Yeah, that's... Then just nobody has a good time with those. Except for the person who won. And then... But then, like, yeah, I think it's bad.
Scrooge McSturgis saying the Game Goblin's gold find is also not always active. Yeah, that's true about his gold find. I would also like to take a pass at the tags and then like put a fact of what all the tags mean. That's a bunch of work, but it's something I hope to do. Total Max is asking, are there additional skins planned except for the one that comes with the events? Yeah, we'd like to do a skin update, although you just got tapped for more champions art, so
yeah,
it might still happen in March, but it might slip.
Yeah. I really like doing skins, so I'm happy to do more always. It's about the time, juggling content updates and events and stuff. But definitely at some point.
Yeah. D-Tape is giving out advice for the From the Ashes. If you have your propagation crusaders, you can propagate the Phoenix's healing upgrade to your formation, so then you don't lose most of them, which is handy. OQ8 Tour. Any plan of making the spend all gold to level up Crusaders to only selected team? No. If you only want to level your DPS Crusader, you can put a Crusader on, or Taskmaster on them and level up your DPS Crusader once everyone's got their upgrades unlocked. The spend all gold button is it was invented to be easy at the end of a reset, so you could get your maximum idols. And there's no harm in leveling up your formation. Or their Crusaders, because then they're ready to swap in. Need to steal those. Yeah. There, scroll higher. Blasphemer 2016 managed to miss the answer to their question. And is this thing viewable after the fact? Yes, we do have the VODs available on Twitch because we're a partner now. I think it's up to 60 days availability instead of just 2 weeks. But we also post the videos to our CNE Games YouTube channel, so you can also go watch the videos on YouTube.
And those are there forever.
Yes, they will be there forever.
Till the heat death of the universe.
Cassius is commenting that Morrigan makes From the Ashes easy. Good to know. Yeah, you can definitely help out fellow players in chat with that advice if they have Morrigan. V. Vandy, can we get a filter in the play history to only see certain events, like chests, bonus idol drops, or reset totals? I mean, maybe, but it's not something that would be high on our priority list to add. I know the play history can get a little bit messy for sure. Yeah. Maybe. Detective Cody, in the same vein of tags, we should definitely have a projectile or gunner tag for missions, especially since Hermit is getting one now for the base 20. Also, a fact for tags would be super helpful because when they were new, they spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the tags meant.
That's fair.
That is very fair. So I guess even if I don't do it, tag balance pass getting a FAQ would have higher priority, but the balance pass kind of clarifies what the tags are. But yeah, a projectile tag for Crusaders, it probably would make sense for the vast crew of projectile Crusaders.
Yeah.
Can add that to the potential to do quality of life list. Melanie, after completing a run with Jalong, the next run begins with the little blue circles. Leg Jelong was already selected with his River Guardian activated. Yeah, it's just a visual glitch. It should actually be fixed with today's update, as far as I'm aware. So if you do still see lingering puddles after resetting the world, let us know. Patuso 5. Will Mindy supremacy ever end? Oof. I guess if we added a different type of Mindy, maybe?
I just don't see how. It's been so long.
Yeah.
She's unique.
She's unique and she's helpful to actually get to the cap.
Yeah.
I was trying to run without Mindy the other day and it's like, this is a bit hard.
Oh.
Where's all my power? Total Max. Well, Rena's supremacy kind of ended. Bit sad about it. Well, I mean, it's two sides to every coin, right? There are players who are happy that Chelong can take on Rena in certain situations for certain players. Yeah, Rena is a cool Crusader, though. So it will be sad when she finally topples for real. Warwick 93, wish you all a wonderful weekend. Cheers. Thanks, Warwick. Hope you have a good weekend, too.
Yeah.
Birdman CSU. How did Kat learn to draw so well? If my kids do that well, I could finally put their art on my fridge.
Oh.
Isn't that what parents do anyway? Put kids' art on the fridge?
Oh, my goodness.
Although I guess if you have a smart fridge, there's not much room for magnets anymore.
As I said earlier in the stream, it's just years of practice. I mean, I'm not a good objective judge, but when I was a kid, people made a fairly big deal about my art. So I guess, I don't know, I don't tend to believe in the idea of talent just because I think anybody is capable. But, maybe there's some degree of having a knack for things or whatever. But definitely
that's your obsession, to draw art.
Yeah, there's also that. I just draw a lot, and the more you draw, the better you get, theoretically, and hopefully true. I can't think of somebody who's drawn for 20 hours and suddenly got worse. Or
I'm tired. My pen is falling off.
Well, there is that. If it's 20 hours straight, then yes. The longest live stream I ever did drawing was 9 hours. It was a big old mistake. But I can say I did it. So if you want your kids to be better, encourage them, basically. Encourage them to draw, give them the tools, offer classes, but maybe don't push it. My grandparents specifically offered to give me or pay for classes for a long time, and I was like, no, I just want to draw what I want to draw. I don't need anybody to teach me. And then eventually in high school, I took an abstract painting class, actually, outside of school, which was not anything like that I did on my own, but it taught me a lot about observation and color theory. Color theory is hard. I'm still not great at it, but it's important.
Definitely helps make things look aesthetically pleasing, right?
Mm-hmm. I still will look up those palette sites sometimes if I'm really stumped. I have no shame.
Detective Cody is saying, I love your art style. So,
thank you.
Yes. Blah blah blue says, leave Mindy alone. Mindy's not gonna change.
No, Mindy's fine. She's safe.
She probably won't change. Kempafet says, I just received airmail from you to Finland a few days ago. Oh, glad that got to you safe.
Nice.
You never know. But yeah, glad you got that. Skig, question, can you add a Wonder Woman Crusader for Superhero Spring? You are short on female and DC superheroes. That's very possible.
I have a friend who's super into Wonder Woman, so I can just mine her brain.
And isn't 1989 coming out this year anyway? So something like that. So it kind of ties into the current zeitgeist.
Yeah. I like this idea.
Yeah. I think we just got our superhero spring Crusader.
I think so too.
Oh, 1984. Sorry, Skig.
Close. Numbers are hard.
Still in the 80s, though. Dave the Aztec. Question for Kat. What setup do you use? Stylus, etc. Thanks.
Oh, well, here we...
To draw on the stream.
Yeah, to draw on the stream, we have I believe this is an Intuos 4. Have just the regular pen stylus. Pretty sure that's showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, it's black, so it's sort of hard to... But if I... Oops, other way. There we go. my pen. I don't actually use the buttons on the side, mostly because I'm really used to keyboard shortcuts. So for the stream, I have the most important shortcuts just on the pen itself, because it has 2 buttons. So I have one, which is right click, so I can do stuff with layers over here. And then the other one is undo. And the other side, of course, is an eraser. And then as far as like the workspace of the program, I just always just kept the default. I like having layers over here, a color selector, and then the navigator, which navigator comes into play more with like bigger and more detailed pieces. Stuff like this, it's just sort of there, but it's, again, habit stuff. And then for Cintiqs, it's about the same. I don't use any extra buttons on the side because I'm used to keyboard shortcuts. But I will basically always have undo on one of these extra buttons just because it's really fast. Yeah. Let me know if that answered your question or if you had something more specific in mind. I'm happy to share. Also, while I'm talking, here is Alacrity, the new Crusader for Valentine's Day.
They are pretty finished, yeah.
Yeah. And people have been asking for another non-binary. This is they. They're a demon matchmaker. Very friendly and bubbly. Maybe I'll splash some color on with the last bit of time we've got here.
Dave the Aztec says, it answered his question. Thanks. Started doing some graphic design again and need to upgrade my setup.
Ah. Yeah. I would say, like, Wacom's a good brand, but they're very expensive. I have a Cintiq at home. Well, Cintiq, because that's the Wacom brand. But the one that I have at home, what was it called? I think it was just called, like, Monoprice. And it was, like, half the price of, like, a Wacom Cintiq. And it works just the same, honestly. It doesn't have any buttons on the side, so if that's a deal breaker for you, then that's not so great. The one thing that I do miss is the pen actually has to be charged, so it has a little port on the end, and it doesn't have an eraser. So that's a little less fun. Interrupts workflow the slightest bit. It's just, different habits in the different places that I work. But if money is no object, totally go for Wacom. They have really great customer support. They last for a really long time. But if you are more budget conscious, definitely look into the up and coming other brands, because honestly, Wacom used to be like way out here. It used to be really far, but it just keeps getting closer and closer. The technology and quality and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think Detective Cody was commenting back on when you were talking about how quick it is to learn things.
Mm-hmm.
And some people definitely can pick up things quicker, but it is all about the time and practice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
OQ8er is asking, any plan to relaunch the game on Android again? Well, we didn't make the decision to take away the mobile version lightly. It just wasn't feasible to keep updated at the same time as Flash, because it was all in Kevin at that point. And unfortunately, once you take an app out of the App Store, you can't relaunch it. You'd have to start a new project and everything. So yeah, it's not coming back, sorry. Blasphemer 2016. In addition to the character designs, do you also do the artwork for any effects, like John's puddles or Langley's bullet trains, or is that someone else?
I
That's
do.
all you.
I do. I am the only artist on Crusaders at this point. So I do all the effects and icons and anything else. The Golden Epics for weekends have probably the most effects work most often. Animation is a thing that I love a lot, but I don't do nearly as much as I might like. So that's definitely when I get the most practice in, and effects are kind of hard, honestly. Like fire is super hard. When I did the revamp skins for the base 20 Crusaders,
Princess's Flame Hands.
Princess's Flame Hands, yeah, and Phoenix's Wings, those were both quite time consuming, but I'm quite proud of them. So
Randy Martinez says they're back. Welcome to the stream. And they noticed that the Valentine's Day event is sticking with the demons. Yeah. This one's a cheery demon. It's not an evil demon, right?
Yeah.
You want her to be good. They want them to be good.
Yes.
So it's a cheery demon.
They're helpful.
I'm not sure why we stuck on the demon theme. It's the thing.
I don't know. It started that way in tradition, kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea. It's also just
I
like...
think the event has a gingerbread hell, or is it? No, that's a different one. No. So we have gingerbread hell somewhere in the game. So.
Yeah. I kind of like sticking to the themes that have been already treaded, I guess.
I mean, otherwise the Valentine's Crusader would just be like, what? More random people to send on dates together, like Hallmark movies? Yeah, so I think the demon theme works.
Yeah, and like demons is a tag that we don't have a lot of, so it's nice to have a spot that's kind of like the excuse to be like, yes, demons, they go here. And like, I like demons.
Warwick93 is asking if it's possible to extend the stream an hour so they have something to listen to while they're babysitting an objective.
Aww. I'm flattered, but unfortunately I have work to do.
Yes.
Yeah. We talked about it when we were sort of pitching this whole live stream thing. If I could draw, the actual game art while doing this, and I just couldn't. I can do my own style because it's my own style. I just draw and chat, and I'm here chilling out and having a good time. But I have to focus more when it's work. And also it's all in Illustrator, which is a more technical program. This is just like sketching as if it was on paper. I don't have to think about stuff, basically.
And technically this is our channel, we could stream for longer, but an hour feels right. And it's almost lunchtime anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, it will be shortly.
We get sushi.
Scrooge McScourge, does Alacrity sharpen their pencil with their teeth or their teeth with the pencil?
Well, I'll have you know, it's a very fancy fountain pen, so there's no sharpening happening.
That would be a lovely mouthful of ink if we bit into the pen. Randy Martinez, is it possible to come up with a talent that lets two Crusaders in the same bench seat be active in the formation? We will likely never have two Crusaders from the same bench seat in the formation at a time. That would be way too overpowered, I think. Blasphemer 2016, sketching looks like a lot of work. Or, well, I guess he asked about if you did everything for the game. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do. So you're quite welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. I do enjoy my job, which is, I am constantly thankful for, especially, having friends and stuff that are like stuck in retail still, things like that.
Detective Cody, the princess's flame hands are lit.
Thanks.
That is a good one. And then they also say if we gave Alacrity some reference to the Hitch movie where Will Smith was a matchmaker, that would be good. I think you already planned out all the flavor text. So.
Only a little bit. I've never seen Hitch, so maybe we can plummet for quotes or something.
No, I don't think Hitch is relevant anymore.
Okay.
Cassius is saying Valentine's could maybe use another angel. I guess that was some of the suggestions for the Ishtar skin. Change it to angel instead of demon. But we'll figure that out when you get there.
Yeah.
And maybe, because I guess Katie's an angel, so.
Yeah.
Maybe
Although
next
that
year
took
can
a
be-
while.
Yeah,
For a long
the
time,
wings.
she didn't have the angel tag.
That's true.
I remember Justin being kind of adamant about that.
Being
She's a
a
Cupid.
Detective Cody is asking, instead of 2 Crusaders active, could you possibly have a new Crusader with a power like Mindy's that copies random formation abilities from the other Crusaders in the bench slot?
Huh.
Huh.
Like a power sapper.
That would be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because would you need the other Crusaders leveled up?
I would
And then
imagine
players
so.
would game the system by disabling all the upgrades they didn't want that Crusader to copy. And then,
Oh, man. But then, like, you can level up all the other Crusaders in the bench slot and just pick your favorite upgrades and make your ultimate Crusader.
Oh, that's still probably too overpowered.
I know. I tried, you guys.
Randy says Katie is still the best gold Crusader they have in formation at all times. That's cool. I mean, Katie looks good for all the time she took with her wings and.
Wings I like a lot. Ever since, again, like high school or a bit earlier, one of my original stories has a race of like, they started as like angel people and have sort of evolved into bird people. Point is, I really like drawing wings and I've done quite a bit of research into them, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does Alacrity have purple in their hair?
It's like a dark blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Detective Cody says, I like how your wings turn out. The
Thank
new
you.
base skin has the best wings so far.
Oh yeah, those were fun. Wings are time consuming though.
Yeah, so I guess we can start wrapping up the stream.
Yeah.
So that was the 5th Crusaders live stream. Pretty awesome. So today's content update for the game is the Tier 4 11ths and Tier 5 objectives for World's Wake and Descent into Darkness campaign. So enjoy those, and of course the changes to Get Me Out of Here and the Washed Up Hermit, which are also cool and also in the changelog, and they'll be on the blog when the blog is pushed. And the weekend promo starts in an hour, so that might help with some of the objectives.
And as I had quite a few art questions this time, which is great, thank you. I'm just going to plug myself and say that I post art on Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram under the handle TheArtMonkey, TheArtMonkey. Come follow me. That's it.
One last question about the color palette for Alacrity. So they're pink and black, right?
Mostly pink and black. Sort of bubblegum pink skin with a dark blue hair, green eyes, so they really stand out. I started with purple eyes. It was a little too muddy. And then for their fashion, the idea was always that they're like a sleek secretary type. So, black blazer and white button-up shirt, stuff like that. There's also bits of gold that you'll see eventually.
Right,
when
like on the pen and
Yeah.
tail decorations.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I forgot.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for joining us. And thanks to Margaret behind the scenes, who without her help, the stream would be a little more crazy, because
Yeah.
she's been pulling the questions from the stream chat and prompting Nightbot and talking on the CNE Games account in the Twitch chat. So that's awesome. Thank you, Margaret. And we'll see you guys next week after the Valentine's event has released.
Yeah, and you'll see Alacrity in all of their glory.
Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.